You check your phone. Nothing new. You check it again 30 seconds later. Still nothing. You feel that small itch behind your eyes, that restless pressure in your chest. You call it boredom. You treat it like a glitch in your day, something to be patched over as fast as possible. But what if that feeling is not a glitch at all? What if it is one of the most important signals your brain has ever evolved to send you? Boredom feels like emptiness. It feels like nothing is happening. But your brain disagrees. Right now, while you sit there feeling bored, your brain is working harder than it does almost any other time. It is scanning. It is searching. It is asking a question it has asked since before you had language. What should I be doing instead of this? Psychologist Sandy Mann at the University of Central Lancashire has spent years studying boredom, and her findings cut against everything you assume about it. In her experiments, she had people do deliberately dull tasks, things like copying numbers from a phone book. Afterward, those bored participants performed better on creative thinking tasks than people who had done something stimulating first. Boredom did not shut their minds down. It opened something up. Here is the strange part. Your ancestors did not have smartphones, but they had boredom. They had long stretches of nothing, hours walking with no threat in sight, quiet nights around a fire with the hunting already done. And in those gaps, something important happened. Their minds wandered. They imagined. They planned. They told stories that did not yet exist, about animals that had not yet been hunted, about places they had not yet seen. Boredom, it turns out, is not the absence of thought. It is a redirection of it. Think about the last time you were truly, deeply bored. Maybe stuck in a waiting room. Maybe on a long drive with no music. What did your mind do? It probably did not go blank. It probably went somewhere. Old memories surfaced. Future plans took shape. A problem you had been avoiding suddenly found a new angle. That is not your mind failing to function. That is your mind doing exactly what it evolved to do when the outside world stops giving it something urgent to chew on. Researcher John Eastwood at York University defines boredom in a precise way. He describes it as the uncomfortable feeling of wanting to be engaged in something, but being unable to find a way in. Notice what that definition does not say. It does not say boredom is the want for distraction. It says boredom is the want for meaningful engagement. That is a very different itch than the one you are used to scratching. And here is where it gets uncomfortable. In 2014, psychologist Timothy Wilson at the University of Virginia ran an experiment that has become famous for a simple, devastating reason. He left people alone in a room for 15 minutes with absolutely nothing to do. No phone, no book, nothing but their own thoughts. Many participants found this so unpleasant that, when later given the option, they chose to give themselves mild electric shocks rather than sit with their own minds in silence. Pause on that for a second. People chose pain over boredom. That tells you something about how far the relationship between humans and boredom has drifted. For most of human history, boredom was unavoidable. There was no escape hatch, no scroll to reach for. The discomfort had nowhere to go except inward, and inward is exactly where it needed to go. Boredom pushed early humans toward invention, toward art scratched onto cave walls with no practical use at all, toward music made on bones and hollow logs, toward the earliest stories passed down not because anyone needed them to survive the night, but because someone, sitting bored by a fire, needed to fill the silence with meaning. Modern life has done something almost unprecedented. It has built an entire economy around making sure you are never bored. Every app on your phone is engineered to intercept that itch the instant it appears and replace it with something easier, faster, shinier. And in doing that, something gets lost. The itch used to be a door. Now it gets closed before you even notice it opened. Psychologist Erin Westgate at the University of Florida has studied what she calls the meaning and attention model of boredom. Her research suggests boredom shows up most strongly when an activity feels meaningless, even if it is not difficult or unpleasant in itself. You can be bored doing something easy. You can be bored doing something hard. The common thread is not difficulty. It is a lack of felt purpose, which means boredom is not really telling you that you have nothing to do. It is telling you that what you are doing does not matter to you right now. That reframes the entire feeling. Boredom is not a problem to eliminate. It is a compass. It points, however vaguely, toward the gap between the life you are living in this moment and the life that would